few of the girls on the show, from her episode, brought it up to my attention that she was talking to a whole Nigerian man that's 53 years old. So I was just shocked about it because I'm like, and then she was, the girls was shocked about it because they're like, why is she even on the show?
You have a lot of maturing to do. I'm just gonna let you know that.
Thank you.
These two were a match on the Pop the Balloon show. They went out on a date, maybe a date and a half. Things didn't work out, and here's the follow-up.
Okay, how was it for you, Ro?
It was okay. I mean, I enjoyed myself. I mean, it was a few things that I was noticing during the brunch, but overall it was okay.
Okay, like what? What were you noticing?
I already addressed it to Cliff. Like, I feel like it was just like some topics that were being brought up a lot, and it was kind of like why were we discussing it? If that makes sense.
Okay, Cliff, did you want to touch on that?
Basically, the topic that she saying that I brought up was she asked me a question about from the show who was what the females that popped me, and I explained to her one of the contestants that one of the females that popped me, but I guess she said I brought that up multiple times when we were out or when we was there, but I don't feel
like you brought up the other contestant or you brought up being popped.
Well, I told her about who the female was that popped me, and I guess she felt like I brought it up so many times, but I mean she asked me the question, I explained it to her, so. But she said I brought it up multiple times. I don't really recall bringing it up that many times, but I guess in her mindset, she said I brought it up multiple times. So I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember asking you about it because I know that you had discussed it like prior that night, like when we were in the car. And she wasn't the only one that popped on you. You have to remember that. But I feel like she was being brought up more just because y'all had common interest. So I feel like maybe your mindset was somewhere else, if that makes sense.
Okay, so you feel like... Oh, sorry, Cliff, go ahead.
I mean, we was eating that night when we went out. She asked me the question, like, who was because she was curious, like, who was the ones that popped, and I explained who the ones was, but it was one that I did explain that I did have a little more similar interest with, which I can't deny and lie about that. But yeah, I mean, that was the truth, but fact. But I don't feel like I brought it up constantly, but I did explain to her who it was. So, I mean, and I just left it at that. But I mean, she felt like I said it more than multiple times. So I guess it is, it is what it is on that.
So, Ro, you feel like that other contestant was more his type? Is that what, is that the vibe that you were getting?
I can't say type. Like he said, like more, they had just more in common. Okay. And like, even like Cliff, when we were like at brunch, I even said like, why do you keep talking about it? And then you're like, oh no, I don't know what you said after that, but I know me saying that, okay, why are we still talking about it? Like, it just was like, kept going.
That's the part where I'm confused at, because at brunch, I don't really feel like I brought her name up. I brought her name up that night, and that was pretty much it. Like brunch, I feel like we was talking about everything else besides that. So I don't really see myself saying that constantly. But I mean, if she feel like that, I said it multiple times. We just gonna leave it at that. She feel like I said it multiple times. So.
Okay. And how has the communication and everything been since then?
There has not been a communication.
Oh, okay. So after brunch, you guys determined
yes. Like when I got here, like back to Texas, yes. But like we like talked about some stuff, and I think like we wasn't on the same page, and maybe like he felt like a certain way. And then I honestly don't want to bring up this issue because I don't know if I can discuss it, but like, what was going on in this chat, and it just was like a lot that was going on.
But she's going to bring it up anyway.
So,
okay.
What was going on? I guess like I remember asking Cliff, like, what's your like normal or usual type that you go for? I mean, he told me. And then, he asked me, and, I told him, there's a particular, like, nationality that I do talk to just because it's, like, what I'm used to. But I think he kind of took it as, like, I didn't want to get to know him. Like, I honestly, like, wanted to step out my comfort zone. And I really was interested. Like, I really told him that I'm open and that I don't want to ever miss out on a blessing, ever. So I don't want to say like this person is my person because he's this color or this nationality or this ethnicity. And if that makes sense. Okay. So I did say that, but I don't know if something else like made him not like want to communicate. Because then even like we had a discussion like one night when we talked on the phone, and then you're like, oh, I'll text you in the morning, and then I didn't hear anything else from you.
Okay, and now so Cliff, she's kind of saying you guys had a discussion. You said you were gonna call her the next day or whatever it was, and she didn't hear back from you. What would you say led to that?
Well, one thing, it was a lot of stuff going on in my head that was brought up to my attention too. I kind of didn't want to share it at that moment, but another thing that was brought up to me was Rose had a 53-year-old Nigerian man taking care of her. So this that was brought up to my attention as well from a few people that she was on the show with as well. So and then just with her when she explained the whole like she haven't really experienced African American man, and she
Wait, I didn't say that.
she said she
I
had.
didn't say that
You said
because
you said you.
my mom is from Louisiana. I grew up with my mom. Like
But you
I
said you have.
really like.
She basically said she haven't dealt with an African
I
American man in
didn't
a
say
while.
I've never dealt.
You said it's been a.
I've never said I've never dealt. Please don't put words in my mouth.
Bro, you said you
Because
haven't.
I consider myself Black American, even though my dad it was Nigerian. I consider myself Black American. I've dated so many Black American men, but I'm saying the older I got, I just started like dating like Nigerian men, and I just feel like a comfort like.
With the
So I'm
Nigerian.
just telling you, I haven't dated any Black American men in a while. That's all I
The,
was saying.
that's
Yeah.
what I'm explaining. That I'm explaining. So
No,
she
but you
hasn't.
Okay,
said
sorry.
that I have never.
I said you haven't dealt with. You told me that you haven't dealt with African American men in a while. So
You didn't
from
say
her
in a while. You
you
said.
didn't even let me finish. Can I
No.
finish?
Okay,
Okay,
let's let him
okay.
finish. Go ahead, Cliff.
So
Okay.
basically,
Damn, let that man
she
speak.
said she haven't dealt with African American men in a while because of her past experience. Don't get me wrong. She's like she have dealt with Nigerian men as well. But she had some past experience with them as well. So I was like, okay, cool. But it was just giving me that if she haven't dealt with an African American man, it just felt like I think she was more towards like Nigerian might be more towards her preference. And then just to piggyback off
But
that,
you can't make that decision for me. If I said I was open to get to know you,
you was open and
like
optimistic. But then again, a few of the girls on the show, from her episode, brought it up to my attention that she was talking to a whole Nigerian man that's 53 years old. So I was just shocked about it because I'm like, and then she was, the girls was shocked about it because they're like, why is she even on the show? And then
wait.
and
So
then
you saying the girls in the group said that I was talking to this guy now?
you explained it to them.
No, I was not talking. I'm not talking to this guy now. Like this was like earlier part of this year. So whatever
And it,
got missed.
So, Ro, just
So hold on for a second. She tells the other female contestants that she was dealing with the dude earlier this year, the 53-year-old Nigerian dude. So it sounds like she's saying it's the truth. Also, here's the question I would have. Why would you tell the other female contestants that information? Women flat out talk too much and they tell all of their business. And she was probably low-key trying to brag because she had this man, but...
to confirm, when you came on the show, are you single?
Yes, like I wouldn't. For them to say like this guy was taking care of me, yes, this guy was taking care of me, but this was like way like earlier part of this year.
It's not way, that's soon. So he was a sugar daddy, basically.
So that had nothing to do with me. Like I literally came on the show with great intentions on finding somebody. So I don't like that you took what somebody else said instead of like getting it from me because you never even asked that from me. I don't feel
You
like
just
that's
said
right.
it was true.
I just feel like because you explained it on the show to the girls and everything, and they brought it up to
But
me.
you keep saying to the girls, but you never addressed me.
So you
about
guys
it.
never had a conversation about this?
Exactly. We never had a discussion about it. So you are going
I
by
felt
he
like
say, she say.
I didn't want to bring that up. I didn't want to
Because
bring that
that
because I
means
feel
that
like
you
she was going
wasn't
to
really
twist it.
interested.
No, it
You
wasn't
wasn't
that.
interested in getting
It
to
just
know me then.
it wasn't that. It just showed me that she was bragging about it like to the girls on the
I
show.
wasn't bragging.
Like that
Like
was
how
just
can
the
you go by
that was
I
just
don't
the
get
thing
it.
that
How can you go by he say, she say? I would never do that to you because even in the group chat, I heard some stuff you were saying, but I never said, oh, I'm not going to talk to Cliff because I'm hearing this. Like, I'm 33 years old. I wouldn't go back and be like, oh, I'm not going to talk to him because I heard this. I'm an adult.
So, Ro,
Like
all the
I make my
girls
own
are in
decisions.
a group chat together from the episode. Is that where
Like
this
the
information is
girls,
coming from?
right? So
Uh-huh.
the girls have a group chat that we made a group chat because we wanted to go out after the show and like hang out. I mean,
Okay.
yeah. So that's what the group chat was morely about.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just turned to something else. And I'm not trying to put the other girls out there because I love, I got to know everybody. But I don't know what girls he's pertaining to because I honestly was not in the back bragging about some 50-year-old man taking care of me.
That sounds like that's exactly what it was. I'll give her this. She said just ran with a rumor without talking to her about it. I'll give her that. It's likely what he should have done. But I can tell from this man's body language, not only now, the beginning of this call, that he don't want nothing to do with this chick. Look how she keeps over talking him. She keeps cutting him off. He already figured out that she was dating a man, 53-year-old Nigerian man, who's paying her bills, aka her sugar daddy. He figured that out already. And he probably thought it wasn't even worth it because he already know you guys, your personalities obviously don't mesh. He was like, the hell with it. I'm just gonna keep it moving.
Because that's not what it is. And I wish you would have addressed me like personally and I would have told you no. That was like way back then. I mean, that's how communication started. And I told you on the show, communication is a real big issue for me. That's my love language. If you can't communicate with me and you're going by like what the streets are saying, like you would never have a real relationship. And
It wasn't
that's
about
just
the
pure
streets,
honesty.
and it was multiple people that was bringing.
I'm just saying like
It's
street,
just
like outside
it's
people.
but it's multiple people bringing up the same situation.
But you're still saying multiple people instead of addressing it from the person that it happened to.
He didn't
So
care
now
to,
it
bro.
feels like, I'm sorry. Like now it feels like you're trying to make me look bad on this show. Like, oh, she had this man taking care of her while she came on the show. I haven't seen that man in months. Like literally months.
So, Cliff, did you ever like once think like, okay, you know what? I'm hearing this. Let me go ahead and speak with her and get more clarification.
Real quick, why did the other girls have to know? She told them.
No, I didn't really want to. I didn't want to bring it to her attention because I just feel like we'll be in a debate like how it is right now, just constantly like it was just go back
It's
and
not
forth.
a debate. I'm defending
Us going back and
myself.
forth and like
I'm
she
defending
saying that
myself.
it was just like she bringing it up like it was past years or something when it was probably could have been recently. So I just didn't
It
want to.
wasn't recent though.
So I don't really know what it was. So I didn't really want to necessarily talk about it like at that point because I feel like she would have just probably said like, oh, it was in the past or some years ago.
Because that's true. Like I'm gonna defend myself. If it's true, I would tell you. If it's not true, I would tell you it's not true. Like I'm gonna defend myself.
That's fine.
So how was it brought up to you, Cliff? Like you reached out to the other girls or they reached out to
actually,
you? Like how?
Yeah, actually, it was one that she was actually cool with. But yeah, she reached out to me and told me, and she was like she can't believe that she told her that because she literally explained it to her. And then this was actually one of the girls that actually popped on me that told me it personally. So, and she told me that she was bragging about it, and she thought about it like, why is you even on the show if you announce
And
it?
I honestly feel like I already know who you're talking about, and that's probably the main person that was causing all the mess. But I'm not gonna say anything.
I mean, but like I said,
I wish, but honestly, at the end of the day, you're my match. I'm your match. You talking to her about me is not okay.
I mean,
You
it
should
was
have
brought to
reached
my
out to
attention.
me to
I didn't
ask
say
me.
nothing. I didn't even know anything. It was brought to my attention.
I know, but when you heard that, you should have been like, "Ro, like, is this true?" And I would have been like, "No, Cliff, that's not true." Like, she might have misheard something or misread something because I keep all my receipts. Like, I have messages too. So I wish you would have addressed me first and been like, "Ro, she said this. Is this true?" And I would have told you. I have nothing to hide. Promise you.
Okay.
So Cliff, you got this information, and then right after you got that was it. You never spoke to Ro again.
Yeah, I really did. I just fell back like off, bro. I couldn't deal with like all that. Just hearing the information and then just with the whole, she kept bringing up like, oh, how I was constantly saying person name and stuff. It was just giving me a lot of like, I was gonna pull my dreads out to be honest with you. Like I just didn't want to keep conversation where like it was just
this guy is making me
I don't know.
make me
It's just
bad.
I just left it alone because I just wanted to like kind of move on because it was just I feel like it would be a lot of going back and forth with me and her. So I'm not that kind of person to keep going back and forth and always having to talk and I'm just like a more peace and smooth. But with Ro, it's just like it's just constantly have to like go back and forth. So
he knew what it was, man. He found out about the 53-year-old. And even let's say what she's saying is true. She haven't dealt with him since earlier this year. Yeah, okay. Is that on top of the attitude, on top of the combativeness, on top of the argumentativeness? You can tell from this guy's personality, he's not like that. He's a chill, laid-back, reserved dude. He doesn't want to argue with this woman all the time. He realized the juice ain't worth the squeeze. It's really that simple. The juice isn't worth the squeeze. And he decided he wanted his peace over interacting with her. It's really that simple.
I didn't want to kind of deal with that, so I wanted to keep my peace. So I kind of just left it as it is and just let it, just let it die down, really, to be honest with you.
Okay. So were you interested in her to begin with? Like,
I mean, I
Before.
was, but with
I
all
don't
the
think
information
so.
and stuff, that I got, it just kind of like
The information that you got.
it just made me kind of like think twice, and then just from the text message and stuff, because I don't know, I just started thinking a little bit, and then plus when we rode in the car together, she didn't really want to match with me anyway when she explained everything to me. So that was another thing, because I really wasn't truly her match, and she explained that to me in the car. So that was another.
I never told you that, Cliff.
You did tell me that. You did tell me.
I did not. Why are you trying to make me look bad?
I'm really not. So
You are,
like,
but it's
see,
fine.
that's why,
You know what?
Arlette, that's why I said,
I
Arlette,
came on here.
this is why I said I didn't want. This why I didn't want to.
sorry guys, hold on. One person at a time. I can't hear.
I let him talk. I came on here with great intentions to, not to like make him look bad, just go with the flow, like tell him, my side.
Mhm.
But like the stuff that you're saying is kind of crazy, because for you to say that I sat in the car and said that you was not my match, I would never say that. That has not came out my mouth ever. As I watched the show, I was not your match. When I watched the show, I was not your match. You literally was on that show asking the same questions to every lady. And the only question you were asking the lady was about travel. It was nothing about them genuinely, like as a person. It was nothing about them bringing anything to the table. It was nothing about them internally. You were only asking about travel. So to me, like, you were on the show just to find someone to travel with. And honestly, when I watched it, I kind of looked and was like, this guy really wasn't even really that interested in me, because you didn't really ask me any questions. The only person that was really asking me questions was Rob. Like, nobody. You honestly did not show interest in me. Like, you did not. And and I know I didn't tell you was not my match, because I honestly wanted to match with you because you were older. I like that you were calm. Like, I want a man that's calm. I don't want a man that's rowdy, because
I'm rowdy.
I'm already like energetic. Like,
Mhm.
I chose you because of those characteristics that I seen. You were calm, you were older. You cared yourself more, better. I liked how you were dressed. Like, so
Yeah.
you can't say that I chose you. I didn't, like, you were not my initial match, because if that was the case, I would pop my balloon, honestly. At the end of the day, like,
Right.
that's just it. But honestly, to me, watching the show with my friends and family, it just seemed like you just wanted a match, and it didn't really feel like you wanted something genuine, because your questions were not in a genuine place. It was just like, oh, where have you been? Where have you traveled? That's it. Point blank, period.
Okay, that's what he said.
Anything you want to add?
He don't care,
that
bro.
was one question I asked, because that's clearly what everybody came out and mostly everybody say. So traveling was one big thing about me. But when we were in the car, she clearly did say that Rob, who was the last person that was down with me, that she would have chose Rob, but she wanted to do something different. Rob was more of her preference, but she only
Yes,
chose me
I was
because she
stepping out of
wanted to
my
do
comfort
something
zone.
different. So she
You're
wanted to
right. I
step
was
out of her
stepping out of
comfort.
my comfort
So
zone.
that clearly means
But
that
I didn't
Rob.
say that you were not my match.
Look, she
I
talking
said
all over
Rob is
him.
someone I would have normally went for, but I chose you. I chose you for a reason. So you can't just say that, because just like you were bragging about the other girl, like y'all had a lot of common interests. I'm not doing you that way, but now you're making it seem like I did not want to choose you. I chose you for a reason. If I wanted to choose Rob, I would have, but I didn't. I wanted to step out my comfort zone because I liked your demeanor. Like I said,
Arlette's got to do a better job of keeping the balance in these conversations.
you were calm, you were cool, collected. Like, I'm just confused on where all this coming from.
So
But
you felt like when she said Rob is what she usually goes for, you're
Well, it
thinking
wasn't
like,
just. I mean, not even just that. It was just everything though that just led up to just where we at like now. So, I just
Okay.
didn't just didn't want to continue to like deal with like everything that was going on. So
Okay, so there was no closure. Like, hey, I don't think this is not gonna
Exactly. He didn't even
work.
give me closure. Like that's immature. Like
He don't
that's
owe
all
you
you could have
nothing.
said was like, "Bro, I heard this about you. Is it true?" I would have told you. And then you could have made your, you could have said, "Okay, well, I don't want to continue this." And I would have been like, "Okay, I understand." You didn't even give me that. I would have gave you that. I honestly would have gave you that.
Ro, did you reach out to him when you didn't hear from
No,
him?
because I felt like there was no need for me to reach out, because if he really was interested in me and if he really wanted to know like whatever he heard was true, then he would have reached out to me. I didn't reach out. After he said, "Oh, I'll text you in the morning," and then I didn't hear back, I'm like, well, I'm just gonna leave it at that.
She didn't care either.
Okay. Oh my God, that's a lot for only knowing each other. What was that? All in like a week?
that's what I'm saying. That's just too much. It's just too much to deal with. Like,
Don't try to make it seem
it's
like
just
it's
too
me
much to deal with
though.
within a week, and I'm just really not trying to do all that. Like,
Don't make
really
it seem
not.
like it's just me.
I'm just
Like
I'm just saying it's just
you have
Arlette. And then
blame in
even
it
it's
too.
crazy because like even the messages and stuff I show my guys, it's like, wow, like you going through like dealing with all that and y'all barely even know.
Messages that she sent you?
Yeah, just it was essays, paragraphs, like books.
Yes,
You know?
because if I can't talk to you during the day, I'm gonna send you a message and tell you all this that we're talking about, because we're getting to know each other.
Yeah.
All this you showing your boys and stuff. See, that's childish. I don't
It's
do
not
stuff like that.
childish. It's not
It
childish.
is childish.
It's
Why would
not.
you show your boys my
It's
messages that's for you?
it's some like
That's
just to show
childish.
like
I have
this is
not showed any
because
of my
you my
friends.
match, so I showed them like look what I'm
It
going
doesn't
through.
matter. I'm your match.
Like
I'm not their
okay,
match.
but it's just like I said.
So I don't
Like,
show my friends
it
my
was a lot.
messages of you.
It was a lot, and I just
You have a lot. You have a lot of growing up to do, but it's
I really
okay. Like
don't.
you do,
I really don't.
because there's no way I'm gonna be showing my friends my guys' messages like, "Oh yeah, she did that." Like,
No, I
come
was
on
just
now.
showing them like, look what I'm going through.
No, you
And I
don't do
barely even know
that.
you.
You don't do
Like that's
that. You
crazy.
don't
I
do
didn't say
that.
I showed them the whole message, but like
It
look
don't
at the
matter.
essay.
You don't do
All
that.
right,
Okay.
You don't do
All
that.
right,
well,
guys.
that's what you don't do. You don't
And
have
for
to do it.
one,
We're
like
not
I
gonna get
said,
anywhere, guys.
Man,
I
Let's
know.
just
That's
And
hey,
for
that's why I
one, you
left it
should
at.
have addressed
That's why I
me.
left it at it was. That's
You
why.
should have addressed
That's
me
why I
about
left it at it
everything
was.
that you felt
It
about
wasn't
me.
it wasn't a purpose. Like no, I wasn't about to do that. So
Okay.
And
Feel
that's
your
fine.
pain.
Well, we can see. Yeah, this.
Yeah, it's fine.
There's a
You
lot.
just have
There's
a lot of you have a lot of maturing to do. I'm just gonna let you know that.
thank you. I appreciate
You're welcome.
it.
You are welcome.
Thank
Because
you.
all this he say, she say, baby, I'm not in high school. I'm not.
That's
If
fine.
I need to know it,
You
if I
act
need to know
like it.
something, I'm gonna ask the person. Point blank. Period.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask that person.
Man, what that boils down to is that woman is a goddamn headache. He knew it. I knew it. Arlette never said it, but she knew it as well. You could tell from her facial expressions when they were having the conversation. I give the young lady this, that he listened to a rumor from the women about her saying that she was dating a 53-year-old Nigerian man who was her sugar daddy and paying all her bills. That he didn't come and say something to her directly about it. He just went with it. But you know what that was? First of all, it was true. Second of all, it was just the icing on the cake for what he already knew is that they're not compatible. He could tell that she was argumentative. He said, Arlette, I don't want to be going back and forth like this. And you could tell, again, from his demeanor throughout the video, he's a more reserved, quiet dude. Reserved and quiet dudes, you know what they don't want to do? Argue with their woman all damn day. And that's just what it is. But again, he would have never had the opportunity to speak on the Nigerian sugar daddy if she wouldn't have told the other women on the show. What was the point of her telling the other women on the show that information other than to just brag? Other than to just brag. If she would have said it, nobody would have known it. But that's what women do. Women talk too damn much. And they like stunting on each other. So she gonna go and brag about having that dude earlier in this year. And who knows if she's actually still talking to him or not. She said she wasn't. Man, you never know. But that's what I firmly think it is. I think he just got tired and didn't want to deal with it. He got tired of her quickly and didn't want to deal with that. He could already see ahead of time they just weren't a match. But you guys let me know what you think. Do Better Squad. Fall out, man. Men want peace, not headaches.